Today, I will be going over every fight on UFC 300, and I'll be giving my prediction on every individual fight. And yeah, I know this video is a bit early, still like a week and a half till UFC 300, but I just wanted to talk about the fights here, so I'm gonna do that today. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Figueiredo and Garbrandt. I feel like this is not safe, but I'm the majority of me is going with Figueiredo because, let's be real, Cody's chin is just ass. He has a horrible chin. And the biggest question when Figueiredo moved up to bantamweight is he going to keep his KO power? Is he going to keep his speed? And just is everything going to translate well? And I feel like in his fight against Font, I feel like that the answer's mainly yeah. Obviously, he's not going to be quite as powerful as he was at flyweight, but he landed some good shots on Font, and he hurt him pretty good. So I think he'll KO Garbrandt, though I could definitely see if Garbrandt could hurt him early on, and just either knock him out or just nullify Figueiredo's KO power, then Cody has a good chance. But I feel like Figueiredo's more likely to find the mark and do more damage. And yeah, I feel like Figueiredo's just with Cody's chin, he's gonna find the Figueiredo's gonna find the mark. And I think it's a second round KO for Figueiredo. Next for Green and Miller. Now this fight's tricky because if Bobby Green wasn't absolutely killed by Turner in his last fight, then it'd be a safe Green in my opinion. But who knows how that KO is gonna affect him? That was such a late fucking stoppage, and a lot of damage was done to Green. So we don't know how that will affect him in this fight. We've seen bad KOs, I mean, sometimes not affect the fighter really, and other times we've seen it just completely mess up the fighter forever. And that was a bad KO, so we don't really know. He's also 37 at this point, though Miller's 40, but he wasn't just absolutely starched in his last fight. But I th- I think I'm still gonna side with Green just because his fight against Dawson, which was still pretty recent. I mean, he's definitely Green still definitely has his KO power. So I don't think he KOs Miller though. I'm just gonna go with Green by decision. He has decent takedown defense, decent grappling, and I think unless he just unless the KO just really messed with Green, I think he definitely has better striking, and yeah, I think he'll just pick him apart the 3 rounds and just win by UD. Next we got Andrade and Rodriguez. Now I don't know much about Rodriguez, but Andrade seems to be, I don't know, some fights she looks decent, some fights are kind of iffy. It's hard to say, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Andrade. She looked good in her last fight. She also has the age advantage. Rodriguez is 36, but Rodriguez also has the height and reach advantage. But yeah, I think I'll go with Andrade by unanimous decision. So that's my pick, yeah. Next we got Turner and Moicano. Turner will definitely, his reach is just fucking crazy for lightweight. But Moicano's grappling looks good in the Dober fight. Huh. I'm surprised Turner's this much is favored this much. I thought the odds would be a bit closer, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Moicano. I think Moicano's just, if he can close the distance well, then I think he'll just out grapple him, take him down, just control. I don't think he'll submit him, but I think he'll get a good amount of control time. I don't see this fight getting finished. I think Moicano's gonna win by decision. I definitely see Turner just KOing him though. I think it'll either be Turner KO or Moicano UD. I don't really see Moicano finishing him. He could, but I think he's more likely to just get a lot of control time, a bit of ground and pound. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Moicano by UD. Now we got Yousef and Lopez. Now Yousef definitely. I don't know if he has the striking advantage. I mean, obviously the power advantage, but Lopez's striking is definitely underrated. And his grappling, while not underrated, is a lot better than people think. Like his jiu-jitsu is crazy good. So, hmm, Yousef has a lot of power though. If he could land early and just hurt, I mean, if he just if they get into a brawl early on, Yousef lands a hard shot, could definitely take out Lopez, but I feel like that's less likely than Lopez landing a good shot or just getting it to the ground somehow and doing his work from there. So I I'm gonna say Lopez by submission. I could see either of them KOing each other, but I think most likely Lopez by decision. I meant submission. Next, we got Holm and Harrison. Now, why Holm is still fighting at 42, I can't answer that question. I mean, I'm just gonna have to give this fight to Harrison, dude. I don't know why she's fighting at 42. That's crazy. I haven't seen much from either of these fighters. I've seen some Holm fights for sure, but just going off age and then just the fucking odds alone, it's safe to say that Holm was likely not gonna win. So I'll go Harrison by decision. Next we got Kattar and Sterling. This is a very interesting fight. I've I don't think Sterling is definitely not going to be small in this fight. And every pick I've seen of him, he's still. I mean, he definitely looks like he's bulked up for featherweight, and he was already huge for 135. So I don't think the weight difference is going to be there. But I mean, this is just an interesting fight for sure. Kattar with his very pressure style. Um, I'm gonna have to go Sterling though. Kattar has decent takedown defense, but I mean, I think Sterling's definitely gonna be able to take him down. I don't think there's a question of that. And I think his jujitsu will I think he'll do a lot of work with that on the ground and he'll either submit him or just ride out with control time. So I think control time is more likely. I mean, if Kattar just really drills his takedown defense and Sterling, can't really get him down, obviously Kattar will win then. He definitely has the striking advantage, but I just see Sterling taking him down. And it's not like Kattar has like one shot KO power like Sterling. I meant like O'Malley. Kattar doesn't have one shot KO power like O'Malley. And so Sterling doesn't have to be as, I guess, cautious with trying to close the distance and take him down. He doesn't have to be as cautious because there's just Kattar doesn't have the KO power O'Malley does. So I think he'll be very takedown heavy and just spam takedowns. And he's definitely gonna get that takedown eventually, and I think he's gonna control him from there. So I think I think Sterling controlling Kattar for 3 rounds is more likely than him submitting him. So I'm gonna go Sterling UD, but I could also see him submitting Kattar. But yeah, I think Sterling UD is more likely. Next is Yuri against Rockit. I'm gonna have to go with Yuri on this one. Rockit is definitely the more orthodox technical striker. Yuri, I mean, you could say that about any of Yuri's opponents. Yuri's always going to be the more unorthodox fighter. probably, but this fight's interesting. I do think Yuri. I do think Yuri. I mean, he's bigger. I think he definitely. I think he has more KO power, and though Rockit, I could definitely see Rockit hurting Yuri, but this one's pretty hard to predict. I think Yuri has the grappling advantage, and I don't know how much he's going to use his grappling. I'm sure he'll shoot takedowns, but this is a very potentially even fight. But yeah, I'm just going to have to give the slight edge to Yuri. I'm not like saying Yuri is going to win. I'm just giving the slight edge to Yuri. I think I could see Yuri finishing him in any way, but I know I'm picking unanimous decision for almost every fight, but it's so hard to see or picture a bunch of these fighters getting finished. It's pretty hard to picture that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go TKO or unanimous decision for Yuri, but I could see Rockit winning too. It's a very close fight. So yeah, that'll definitely be an interesting one. Moving on to Bo Nickel and Brundage. Bo Nickel moving on. Charles Oliveira and Armen Tsurukian. Now, a lot of you are very against me on this. I think Oliveira is going to win, but again, I'm not saying he's gonna win. This is just my prediction based on what I know. And yeah, a lot of you are giving me shit for this. You are pretty passionate about thinking Armin's gonna win, but I just think Oliveira is just better all around. I think Armin's wrestling is a bit overrated. He kind of got out wrestled by Gamrot in his fight. I think Gamrot won most of the wrestling exchanges, and yeah, I just don't think he's quite as good as everyone says. I know I'm gonna get shit for that, but until if he beats Oliveira, I will be happy to be proven wrong. But I just think Oliveira is better grappling, better striking, and I see Oliveira second round KO. I'm going Oliveira first round KO. That is my prediction. Moving on to Gaethje and Holloway. Now, when this fight was first announced, I feel like my thoughts on it, and I feel like most people's thoughts were, oh my God, Holloway's about to get absolutely murdered. But as we get closer to the fight, my thoughts on this, and I feel like the majority of people are like, oh wait, Holloway has a good chance here, and I mean, especially with the pics we've seen of him in his like on Instagram and stuff, he looks big. Holloway looks big. He looks way bigger going into this fight than he did against Poirier, which is a good sign. And I don't. I mean, besides that, I'm kind of surprised how much the consensus has changed over this fight. I see so many people picking Holloway now. I see almost more people picking Holloway than Gaethje, which is kind of weird. I'm still gonna go with Gaethje. I think his power is just gonna be too much for Holloway, but I still could see Holloway winning. I mean, his if Holloway has enough damage in his shots, I mean, he's gonna definitely be more active and throwing more than Gaethje 100%. So if he actually has a good amount of power in his shots, he could hurt Gaethje enough and be active enough and throwing enough to where he overpowers Gaethje and just overwhelms him with pressure. So I could definitely see Holloway winning, but again, with Gaethje's power and just how much his technical striking has improved in his last couple of fights, and just the adjustments he's made mid fight has been really impressive to see. I'm still gonna have to go with Gaethje. It is a 5 rounder, so I'm going either. I'm gonna go the controversial. I think Gaethje round 4 KO, TKO. I'm gonna say Gaethje round 4 KO. That's my prediction for that. But again, I could see Holloway winning, overwhelming him with pressure and just having enough damage in his shots to where it affects Gaethje and Gaethje just can't recover in time. But I'm gonna have to favor Gaethje for that fight. Next, we got Wiley and Xiaonan. I think that's how you say her name, Xiaonan. This fight's gonna be a banger for sure. I'm pretty hyped for this fight, but hmm, Wiley Xiaonan looked very technical against Andrade. She looked really good in that fight. Hmm. I'm definitely gonna have to favor Wiley for her power and just strength. She is so strong. It's crazy. She just makes everyone look like she looks like she's a weight class above. That's what it looks like whenever she's grappling, whenever she's throwing strikes. She looks like another weight class compared to everyone else she fights. But Shannon does look a little more technical in her striking, and huh. I thought there was more of a reach advantage. I guess not. It's just an inch in height, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Wiley. It's a 5 rounder. I'll have to go Wiley. Whaley? Is it Whaley? Oh, it's Whaley. I think I'm dumb. Whatever. I'm gonna go Whaley by KO round 3. Finally, we got Pereira and Hill. I don't think Hill has much of a chance. I'm gonna be honest. I might get shit for this one too, but I think Pereira's leg kicks, I mean, just striking in general does so much damage. I and his takedown defense has improved so much. I mean, Hill doesn't supposedly doesn't want to take him down and wants to strike with him. I don't know how much he's gonna be truthful about that in the fight, but yeah, it's hard to see Pereira not hurting him in a 5 round fight, and whether it be leg kicks or a hook or something, I think Pereira is gonna hurt Hill pretty bad, and that's gonna lead to I think that's gonna lead to a stoppage against Cage. I'm gonna go Pereira round 3 TKO. That is my final prediction. Now, I definitely probably have some controversial picks in this, but let me know down in the comments whether you agree, disagree. I'm sure many will disagree, but let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.